Hello? I just want to tell y'all, thank you for tuning into my channel. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, if you find it funny, if something, turn the gears in your brain, comment, share, let me know what's going on. Just so y'all know, I am gonna spoil the entire Love Lies Bleeding movie, okay? I'm gonna spoil it. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. Love Lies Bleeding. Okay, Love Lies Bleeding. Lesbian, bodybuilding, thriller, romance, 80s. They say 80s noir film. Okay, and basically, Kristen Stewart is like the one who works at the gym, this old school gym. One day she's working and sees this very buff woman, and they call it love at first sight in all these promo videos. That's a bit of a carry. There's no way that you can't have a bodybuilding background with the way that her body had looked in the film. That is not natty. But love at first sight, whatever. She sees this buff woman working out in the gym and she's taken aback, but here's the twist. The gym is closing. Also, she was being questioned by this FBI agent, this random FBI agent, who in the movie follows her around, and it's yeah, there's a plot there. There's a plot there. So that's the first time we see the FBI agent, and he's asking about her dad and her mother and all that. And her mother's gone, quote. She shuts the gym down, and the buff lady is still lingering after the lights are off, and she's dragging her foot to get out of the gym. They come outside, Kristen Stewart is, smoking her cigarette or whatever, and the buff lady and her can barely even make small talk. It's pathetic. It's cringe as and then a guy exiting the gym starts to flirt and be weird. The buff lady punches this in the face. But then he punches her back in the face. And then they go back inside the gym. Kristen Stewart gives the buff lady some steroids. Kristen Stewart is I know these Romanian men who come into the gym and they just, they drop it off and you can have the steroids for free. Because the buff lady's I don't have any money, I'll inject it right now into your butt. That scene was stupid. They didn't even properly do it in the butt. It was literally the back. No, this movie definitely had a lot of easily identifiable references for all the shenanigans and the happening in this movie. Odd Werewolf. I'll explain that reference in a second because what the then after shooting up the steroid, I was about to say heroin, they start making out. Boom. First sex scene. Yeah, they made it seem this was a quick rush, heroin. That's why I'm sitting here, having a little mouth drop where I'm saying heroin, because they made it she shot up the heroin and, her body's moving and growing and twitching and their sound effects. They have the sound effects
yeah.
Wait, what?
It's giving werewolf.
It's giving werewolf. The 80s Teen Wolf movie. It was just giving when a werewolf transitions during the full moon every time she shot up. But I mean, the movie just takes a million different turns. And I'll just start by listing off some of my bullet points here. So GTA music soundtrack. The music in a bad way. The music, every time someone was going to be murdered, every time something spooky was about to happen, they started playing some alien. It was the 80s movies that I've seen aren't even this corny. Maybe there's some internalized homophobia here that we'll unpack in a sec. But so GTA music soundtrack. You ever played GTA? It's 2024. GTA came out literally 10 years ago. Anytime you do a mission on GTA, they start playing some you know, type music. And that was the case in here, and it actually sounded exactly like the GTA background music for starting a mission. That turned me off. Let's refer them to their characters. You know, Kristen Stewart's name in the movie is Lou, and the bodybuilder strong woman is named Jackie. A few scenes later, all the characters basically learn that Kristen Stewart's brother-in-law had sex with Jackie before Lou met Jackie. They don't find out until they are all at dinner with Lou's sister, Jackie, and Lou's brother-in-law, awkwardly sitting across from each other while it's obvious that Lou and Jackie are now, you know, Lou's sister, brother-in-law, black eye, you know, near death type of situations at home. Why did you have sex with this awful man that is my brother-in-law? And Jackie tries to explain, like, hey, so that she can get a waitressing job at the gun range. Now, this gun range, though, is owned by Lou's father. And she has no money, okay? Because, by the way, when they had sex, after they had sex and they went back to Lou's place, Jackie was like, hey, can I live here on some, my next bullet point, on some lesbian U-Haul shit? Because she was a lesbian couch hopper, a fake lesbian couch hopper, a fake lesbian bisexual couch hopper, and needed a place to live. So that's why she had sex with Lou and went home to her place. She even was being really picky and was like, Lou, like, don't make me regular eggs. Like, you need to separate my yolk from the egg white. This is a user. Untrustworthy bisexual territory. You know, it was giving manipulation from the very beginning. Manipulation is like murder to me. It is like murder to me. You need to go to jail for manipulation. You need to go to prison, under the prison for manipulation is severe to me. There's severe levels of it, and then there's regular day-to-day levels. And for the regular day-to-day levels of manipulation, no one needs to be under the prison. But for the severe levels that occurred in this movie, I didn't mind if she died, if she were to die. And somehow this made it out alive. And that's the most confusing part about this movie. She made it out alive. The murderer. Mind you, while her love interest takes care of the body for her while she naps. That just threw me for a loop. This is living on one of the pillars next to the highway. Like, you know, the pillars that uphold the highway? This is underneath on one of the pillars laying down, doing push-ups and sit-ups. That was a very interesting plot to me. She's unstable as she did something. I'm sorry. Call me biphobic. I just don't care. I didn't get the real love part. It did not gag me. This was a flaw. This movie is for millennial lesbians who are probably scary as and probably would manipulate and murder somebody.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I literally wrote down fake lesbian bisexual couch hopper. That was the very beginning of the movie. She's a hobosexual, like in the same way that men women that they know have their own place and they can live with. It was giving hobosexual.
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, no, why are you manipulating another woman through relationship and sex? That's what a man would do to another woman. Why would you do it to another woman as a woman?
Yeah.
That's why it's worse. You know?
Yeah, it's like you know better.
You know better. Like, from woman to woman, why would you manipulate like that in the same way that a man would? Lonely lesbian needs some company.
Yes, never has.
LLNC, Lonely Lesbian Needs Company.
And also, like,
get out. Bitch, do I look like a maid to you? A lesbian maid to you? Here to make your protein shake in your meal? You know, when you are a lonely lesbian needing company, LLNC, excuse me, you know, it goes over your head, those little sly comments. Lesbians are very cringe. Millennial, that's why I said this movie is for millennial old. I mean, they definitely paid a lot for press. That's what I'm gonna say. They paid a lot for press for this movie. They paid a lot for press that was very feminist, that was very forward-thinking, ally with women and queerness, when in all actuality, despite the director being what looks like a lesbian woman or queer woman, this movie was literally created for the male gaze. What do you mean you have a scene where there's like a chocolate protein smoothie dripping down the face and neck and chest, and then you have like this muscular woman? I mean, go on Reddit, y'all go on Reddit and search muscular mommy love lies bleeding. There's going to be a really disgusting Reddit thread that you're going to come up on if you go Google that. And you'll just see how this movie really appeals to the male gaze and the muscle mommy archetype of women. Let's unpack the internalized homophobia that might arise when you watch this lesbian male gaze film. And I guess if you have unpacked your internalized homophobia, you wouldn't cringe at all at certain parts of your community, would you? You know, and everyone from different communities chime in. What about you, Elliot? What about the gay community? You still cringe, like, even if you don't, you know, like, even if you have a good percentage of internalized homophobia worked out. The thing is, I don't think about straight people to begin with. So the people that I am thinking about are the gay people, which then comes, I guess, maybe the focus on gay cringe instead of straight cringe, because I'm more in tune with my community. You know, because straight people are going to be cringe regardless. Let's get that straight. This movie should be taken out of theaters. What is waif for like, those?
Like, I need to, I don't know. Basically just like really skinny, like also like very feminine. Yeah, like withering away, like I'm gonna blow away in the wind. Twink. That's why I call it
desiccant, but that's not twink. Twinks are full of life, young looking. No, let's young looking, delectable, edible, hairless, clean. Oh, clean. Let's get the twink definition straight. No pun intended. In this movie, we have like a really legitimately no type of self-care in the body gay lesbian who does not wash her face, does not do her hair, smokes cigarettes while eating. You know, just like really like, you know, skinny, nasty, just regular skater boy, like country nasty boy. Then you have this 3 times the size lesbian who's bisexual, who's the bottom. Yeah. Who's also very muscular.
Which I feel like also feeds into the whole
the muscle mommy thing.
Like
they made her straight still.
Yes. First of all, they made her straight still. And also, at the end of the day, those men want those women to be submissive. They want to dominate a muscle mommy. And that's what's so creepy and fetishistic about it.
Ooh, you ate so that. Creepy. Muscle mommy. The whole point of this whole muscle mommy idea from the male gaze is literally like, oh, here's this muscular woman who, she's murderous. She's strong. She can murder the male abuser. Mm-hmm. But in sex, she's still the bottom. Yeah, she is still to be dominated during sex, during sexual context. Yes. And even with the sexual context, with the submission to the brother-in-law in the very beginning. Yeah. Even though she ends up killing him, it's all for the male gaze. Maybe it was all for gags, and maybe the gag went over my head. But, yeah. Are you supposed to cringe at your community? That's the real question of the day. Are you supposed to cringe at your community if you truly accept yourself? If you truly accept yourself, do you even give a what other gays are doing? You know, Elliot, if there was a gay man outside right now in Dr. Martin's and...
Well, I care because we don't...
Wait. But let me give you this hypothetical situation. If there was a gay man outside right now in Brooklyn.
He didn't sign up for this.
Outside in Brooklyn wearing, let's say, platform Doc Martens, the extra platform, and, you know, a pink thong, but one of those pink thongs that they wear in Brazil where it only latches on one side of the leg. Yeah. You know the ones I'm talking about? Wearing an umbrella rainbow hat that around the head. You know, because gay pride. Because gay pride, though. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that.
No. Not generally, but there are moments when I would rather. But
He's really.
Some would call that homophobia. Some would call that internalized. Some would call that internalized homophobia. My last bullet point here says fetish content, fake indie fetish content, and definition of VORE. VORE it says a typically erotic desire or sexual fantasy to be consumed or to consume another. And there's a specific scene in this movie where, again, you know, she's having one of her werewolf steroid transitions. And basically, it's almost like the hairs on her neck, the muscle fibers in her body, the tendons in her body wake up when she hears someone in danger that's harming Lou. Yeah, boom, literally. She becomes the crazy murderous Hulk, lesbian Hulk. CMLH. Crazy murderous lesbian Hulk. Lou's father is about to murder her, and he first shoots her in the knee. Then he sticks his finger in the wound in her knee.
Yeah.
Like, this is so freaky. Right, so the murder is not even a normal murder. It's supernatural as Lou's father is literally shrunken to a miniature size of a piece of scissors, like and basically, like, the ratio is this scissors, these childish ass scissors that are in my hand, this is the size of Lou's father, and Jackie is literally the size of an extra large human, supernatural, extra large Godzilla. It was like, the references are Godzilla, Teen Wolf, 80s, Hulk, cringe, millennial, lesbian, vampire, vampiric. The way that Lou's father is murdered this is so freaky. Like, this is disgusting me. Like, honestly, like, talking about this is disgusting me. But like, literally, she grabs him like a little doll in her hands and puts him in between her legs. Yep. The camera pans down to her crotch area. What type of fetish content in a lesbian movie is this? Yep. This is not an empowering lesbian movie. That scene honestly had me cringing. I needed to leave the theater. From the minute this movie started, really. This crazy movie. They paid so much. They got this in theaters and on Sundance. The camera pans down to her crotch. A bunch of murders, and Kristen Stewart is constantly cleaning it up, basically. And Jackie's the murderer behind all of it. Is the story. Steroids-induced psychosis thriller, Love Lies Bleeding. Y'all go watch that movie in the theaters, and y'all let me know what your, opinions are. And if you agree with this, roid rage, steroids-induced psychosis, lesbian U-Haul, lesbian couch hopper, fake lesbian bisexual couch hopper, her teeth are scaring me. Would you say you're kinky? Odd werewolf, fetish content, fake indie. Watch the movie and, let me know if this really resonates with you. Yeah.